No.
Get ready. Once upon a time, there lived a single father. This single father had one kid that day.
Wait, what?
The day that they were going sledding.
Is this a scary story?
That was the kid.
Oh.
That day was a good day, like every other day of, sledding. We only had one kid not come back home with us.
Wait, what?
Hopefully that's me.
They ran into a tree. We left them behind.
Wait, didn't Connor
Really?
Connor ran into a tree.
Yes, he did. We left him. That's why he's not here. See? No Connor. Okay. Moving on. That night was a good night. We got home to our nice, warm, little cozy house that belonged to what soon would be the evil stepmother.
You're her?
You're not evil.
That night, like every other night of sledding or building a snowman, we made hot cocoa, homemade. Drank it up. The next day, the dad of only one kid at the time went back home to his man castle.
The Xbox.
What?
A week after that,
I hate Xbox.
the what was soon to be the evil stepmother
You'll play the good part.
went to go and visit this guy in his man castle to say, "Hello, how are you doing today?
Charlie.
I thought I'd stop in for a spot of tea with you." Only to realize it was not one kid. It was four.
There's 5 kids out here.
The soon-to-be evil stepmother had 3 kids of her own, for a grand total of 7 kids.
And then one amazing kid. Not me, because I'm not amazing.
I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
It's that one.
Quit on yourself.
Wow.
About a week later,
That was like a
Yes.
minute later.
Yes, everybody.
they
quiet.
all came by to visit
Wait, what? Weirdos.
on the weekend that
I also know that.
the dad had the kids.
Oh no.
Yay.
Terrible.
Skipping forward to a month later,
Why?
What?
the dad got rid of his man castle,
Wait, what? He got rid of his Xbox. Yay.
had all 4 of his kids full-time,
Wait, what?
and moved into the soon-to-be evil stepmother's
I'm an orphanage.
2-bedroom townhouse
orphan.
apartment. Yes.
Don't judge.
Giving them a grand total of 7 kids and 2 adults in a 2-bedroom
Oh,
townhouse.
that's horrible. Reminds me of us.
So scary.
As time went on, things were pretty good.
Not we
I
lived
just
in the house.
dropped it.
Then the big, crazy bunch family moved into a bigger house to accommodate the needs of all
I think you know.
and to make all exes happy.
Oh my god.
I gotta back up myself.
I'm confused. I may already have one.
In the new house is
I
where
have more than one.
shit got real.
I got real.
For the soon-to-be evil stepmother
Jeez, poop got real?
was very proud of her new house.
Wait, what?
I thought she was the
Just
evil
because
witch,
it's
so why is she
real?
happy?
It's really so bad. I cannot even focus on this.
Okay. That's what we done to our dad.
So as time went on in this new house, the evil stepmother asked for help around the house. As these kids that were all raised in barns
Wait, what?
didn't know how to do anything.
Cool.
That's
That was a castle.
For the evil stepmother was like, you guys need to make some socks. And they didn't know how.
I feel like this is based on a true story.
How?
Why do you think
With the older kids, she'd be like, can you please go and unload the dishwasher? Can you please go and unload the dishwasher? And she'd walk into the kitchen shortly after to open a cabinet and everything come out trying to crush her as the kids tried their best to kill kill
What?
the evil stepmother with
Awesome.
dishes.
I don't want to kill him.
Awesome.
But little did they know, evil does not die that easy, does it? That's right, it does not, ever. So, what the evil stepmother did was she pulled out 3 different sized bowls. A large one, a medium one, and then a small one. To teach them how to play the game most 1-year-olds can play of putting the little ones inside of the big ones to appropriately stack them in the cabinets for efficiency of dishes. They hated this. They thought this was child abuse. They felt like they were being taken advantage of. They all wanted to go back into their very own bedrooms and watch their very own TVs with Xboxes and Rokus and such.
Jaden.
They felt, we're not name calling here because every one of you guys do it.
I don't play Xbox.
Not me. I play Xbox just.
So, moving on.
Yeah, no. Not just
As the evil stepmother constantly broke up fights and cleaned, she became over it.
I liked it.
So the evil stepmommy/mommy made up a plan.
It looks nasty, but
What am I going to do to make my life easier? And to get these kids who hate me so much
I didn't hate
Two.
you.
love me.
Well, you're evil. Why would anybody want to if you were evil? Be quiet.
And then she said, nope, they're never going to love me. Off with them. Off with all of them. They all need to go and disappear, never to be heard from ever again.
What? You were evil. Why would we love it?
And then this is when it got real again.
Cool.
This one kind of loved the mommy, but the mommy was like, if I keep you, it's a reminder of all kids.
You need ramen noodles the whole entire time.
You have to go too. So she took all the kids out for what they thought was a hike in the woods.
Why would you? What?
The hike in the woods, she was going to get them deep, deep, deep into the woods, and she was going to leave them all
What?
alone with no food and no water, no means to take care of themselves. In woods
water
where
will
there
survive.
was
Let's get
bears
water.
and lions and tigers.
There's
Like I heard
water
the story.
in woods. Come on.
Another reminder. Lions and tigers and bears.
oh my.
Right.
That's right, oh my. You're about to see why. For your oh my. She got them deep in, and the sun was going down. And as you know, that's a very creepy time of day.
Wait, what?
She took off running before she had a compass, and she knew exactly where she was going. But these kids would not know how to. Why? Because they didn't know how to make socks, or unload a
There's a
dishwasher,
thing called phones.
or fold clothes, or even know big clothes from little clothes to put them in the right rooms. So she very well knew that they would not be able to survive in the woods. Because they wouldn't even be able to survive in real life. Or would they? It was about a week later, and after all the reports of missing children died out, and the evil stepmother played off like she had no idea what happened to these beautiful, beautiful babies.
Wait,
We're not
what?
beautiful.
I thought she was evil. Why would you think we were beautiful?
She was playing the victim, Claire. Let me have my moment.
Yeah.
Her and her husband, after her husband was mourning the disappearance of his 4 little angels,
You left us in the woods.
they started having a real life. They started going on vacations out to Chinese.
Wait, what?
The stepmom started getting her nails done again, and her hair did all up. She started slowly growing a social life on Facebook.
Hi.
She didn't have to worry about little food snatchers snatching up all of her mellows.
That's not me.
Proof it was you. And then one day, her husband was at work for he worked night shift. You know, the scariest time of day. And that's when it happened. That's when it happened.
What?
What, you ask?
Yeah.
She heard tap, tap, tap
What
on
was
a
that?
window. Then she heard fighting banter from the backyard, along with boink, boink, boink from the trampoline that they'd bought once before when they tried to make the kids happy on a Christmas that they were not happy. And look, there's the jacuzzi that the kids broke. As she sat there listening to all these sounds around her, she started hearing lots and lots of giggles. She knew.
It's where she is.
She knew. That's when it was going down for real. She went through quickly and she locked all the doors and all the windows and she said, "You little meanies aren't coming back in here because you guys are so mean to me."
That's a lie.
That's when she heard the breaking of a window. Why, you ask? Because they didn't care.
I didn't even say why. No one
No
said
one
why.
asked.
No one said it.
Claire, no one asked you.
No one said why. That's what.
Well, it just so happened that that night, the dad was still just so driven with grief from the missing, or his 4 missing kids.
What time is it?
He came home from work.
Time for you to go watch.
He came home from work, okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Well, he came home from work because he was so sad.
What time is it?
As he pulled up, the kids ran to his car and said, "Daddy, Daddy, we missed you. We love you so much, Daddy. We're so sweet and innocent, Daddy." See? Yeah, uh-huh. And he walked in the house just so excited and so happy to see that his babies were home
Yeah.
with the bonus babies that, you know, he married into.
What?
And he came in yelling,
My ex.
"Sweetheart, sweetheart, look who was in the yard." And found his wife in the fetal position, crying on her bedroom floor under her bed, crying her eyes out. And he said, "Why do you cry? The noises were the children." And as she let out a scream, she said, "Oh no! Get him away from me!"
That's my favorite part.
There! Is that a good scary
I
story?
gotta tell